You are lying on the ground 100,000 years ago. The sun is gone, and everything that kept you alive during the day is disappearing. First, your eyes stop working. Beyond the firelight, the world turns black. Then the cold starts climbing through your skin. You have no blanket, no walls, no locked door. Then something moves in the grass. It might be wind. It might be a leopard. It might be a cave hyena that can see the edge of your camp better than you can see it. Then the fire gets smaller. The one thing keeping the dark away is eating itself alive. Then a baby starts crying. And every predator close enough to hear it now knows exactly where the humans are. And after all of that, your body asks you to do the most dangerous thing imaginable. Sleep. So how are you still here? How did your ancestors survive the one part of every day when they were cold, blind, exposed, and unconscious? Let's start with what the night actually took from us. During the day, humans were dangerous. We could see tracks. We could read broken branches. We could spot movement on the horizon. We could throw rocks. We could carry spears. We could warn each other before something got close. But at night, most of that disappeared. Your eyes were weak. Your skin was exposed. Your children were loud. Your body was slow. And the animals around you were built for the hours when you were at your worst. Leopards hunt from shadows. Hyenas can crush bone. Lions move at the edge of darkness. Snakes do not need you to see them. Insects do not need to kill you quickly. Cold does not need teeth at all. Everywhere outside the firelight, something could hurt you. And here is the thing. Humans were not designed like night animals. Cats and hyenas can use tiny amounts of light better than we can. They hear better. They smell better. They move through darkness without announcing themselves. We do not. We stumble. We panic. We imagine shapes in the grass. And when we sleep, we become almost useless. A sleeping human cannot keep watch. A sleeping human cannot protect a child. A sleeping human cannot feed the fire. A sleeping human cannot tell if the sound outside the camp is wind or teeth. By every biological measure, night should have killed us. But it did not. So what happened? The first weapon was fire. In Wonderwork Cave, South Africa, archaeologists found evidence that human ancestors were using fire around 1 million years ago. Microscopic ash, burned bone, traces of heat deep inside the cave. Fire changed everything. Not because it made humans invincible, because it made a circle. Inside that circle, you could see faces. You could see hands. You could see a child crawling too close to the edge. Outside that circle was the old world. Cold, dark, moving grass. Eyes you could not see until they were too close. A campfire was not just warmth, it was portable shelter. It was a border. It turned open wilderness into a temporary room. But fire had one problem. It dies. Every hour, the wood burns down. The light shrinks. The cold comes back. The room gets smaller. And if everyone is asleep when that happens, the room disappears. So fire alone did not save us. The second weapon was broken sleep. Today, we think sleep means one person, one bed, one door, one long block of unconsciousness. For ancient humans, that would have been insane. When researchers tracked hunter-gatherer groups living without industrial light, they found something strange. The Hadza in Tanzania, the San in Namibia, the Tsimane in Bolivia. They did not simply fall asleep at sunset and wake at dawn. They stayed awake after dark. They slept roughly 6 to 7 hours. And their sleep did not line up perfectly. Then researchers looked even closer at the Hadza. For 20 days, they tracked when adults were asleep and awake. Out of all that time, the whole adult group was asleep at the same time for only 18 minutes. 18 minutes. In 20 days. For almost the entire night, someone was awake or half awake. No guard tower, no written schedule, no one saying, you watch from midnight to 2. The group protected itself by accident. Older people woke earlier, younger people stayed awake later. Parents woke when children moved. Light sleepers drifted in and out. One person heard the grass, another noticed the fire, another woke before dawn. Humans did not need one perfect guard. We had many imperfect sleepers, but broken sleep alone did not save us. The third weapon was knowing where not to sleep. Ancient humans could not just lie down anywhere. The place mattered. A bad camp could kill you before the predator even arrived. Too far from water, and the group woke up thirsty. Too close to water, and every animal in the dark knew where to find you. Too exposed, and the wind stole heat from every sleeping body. Too hidden, and no one could see danger coming. So humans learned the night like a map. They learned which sounds belonged to harmless animals. They learned which silences were wrong. They learned where leopards liked to move. They learned where hyenas came to scavenge. They learned which trees could drop snakes. They learned which caves already belonged to something else. And that knowledge was not written down. It lived in memory. If one person survived a bad night near a waterhole, the whole group could remember it. If one child wandered too far from the fire and almost vanished, that became a warning. If one camp worked because the smoke drifted the right way and the ground held heat, people noticed. The night punished bad guesses. Humans survived by turning those punishments into rules. But rules alone did not save us. The fourth weapon was the group. One human sleeping alone is easy prey. 30 humans sleeping near each other are not. If one person wakes suddenly, the whole camp can wake. If one baby cries, another adult can reach for it. If one sick person coughs, everyone knows. If the fire drops too low, someone sees it. If a predator tests the edge of the light, it is not facing one body, it is facing a circle. This is why ancient sleep was not private. It was shared. Some slept, some listened, some fed the fire, some held children, some pressed closer together when the cold came in. Some woke before morning and became the first eyes of the day. The camp worked like one living thing. Different bodies waking at different times, different ears catching different sounds, different people solving different pieces of the night. But the real weapon, the one that made the night human, was story. During the day, life was practical. Find food, carry water, watch animals, repair tools, move before the heat gets worse, solve the problem in front of you. But at night, everyone came back to the same fire. There was nowhere else to go, and that changed what people talked about. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner studied firelight conversations among the Jewish Bushmen. During the day, people mostly talked about work, food, resources, complaints, and immediate problems. But at night, the talk changed. The fire became a place for stories. Old hunts, distant camps, dead relatives, dangerous animals, rules, jokes, songs, people who broke trust, people who survived because they listened. This was not entertainment. It was survival memory. A child could hear a story about a leopard near water and remember it years later. A young hunter could learn where animals moved after the dry season. A selfish person could become a warning without anyone giving a lecture. Before books, before schools, before screens, the night fire was how knowledge stayed alive. So this is what ancient humans did all night. They did not just sleep. They guarded without calling it guarding. They listened. They fed the fire. They held children. They repaired tools. They watched each other breathe. They turned fear into stories. They turned stories into memory. And they turned memory into survival. Because here is the truth. A leopard could overpower one human. A hyena could drag away a child. Cold could kill an infant. Darkness could make every sound feel like an attack. Sleep could make the whole species vulnerable for hours. But fire gave us a border. Broken sleep gave us a watch. The group gave us protection. Story gave us memory. Every weakness forced humans to invent a solution. And every night, those solutions repeated. Again and again. Until the most dangerous part of the day became one of the most human parts of the day. Today, the predators are mostly gone. The cold is blocked out. The dark is full of streetlights. The fire became electricity. The circle became a bedroom. The stories became screens. We made night safer than it has ever been. But we also made it lonely. For millions of years, humans survived the dark by gathering around light. Now most nights, we sit in separate rooms, staring into separate fires.